Hey folks, welcome to Module 2. In this module, our expert will be showing you how to post on popular JV hubs and launch calendars. So get ready to take some notes and let's jump right in.
All right, so here we've got a couple of different launch notification boards or calendars as they're often referred to, okay? And this basically is a place to come to tell people, hey, I have a launch happening. It's happening on this date. Here's some of the basic information about it. For example, the commission and the price and what the topic is. Please come to my JV page. That's really what this comes down to. So basically, let's have a look at a couple of these here. Let's click on, well, since you know what, we used this one in the last example, let's click on this one, that niche marketing kit. So this is the launch posting or notification on Muncheye for that. And that is one of the things. This is one of the pages that drives traffic to that affiliate recruiting page that we were looking at earlier. If we click here, you'll notice it takes us right back to that page that we were looking at not too long ago in the previous lesson. So this is where the traffic comes from to get to your affiliate page. This is a known hub, okay? People know to come here. Affiliates are constantly, because affiliates make their money by mailing things. So they need things to mail. So they have a couple of hubs, and we're going to be looking at the two biggest. One is Muncheye, the other is JV Notify Pro. They have a couple of hubs that they come to regularly to fill their calendar so that they can make money. And so basically, this can vary. You'll see some people who just put a few lines here about their launch, and then their main emphasis is the link to their JV page, because that's where they really want them going. But in this case, John and Dave are taking kind of a smarter approach, and they're actually doing what we talked about in the first lesson, which is, look at that, selling on the idea of promoting this launch. They're selling. They're trying to convince them. Why should you promote? Reason number one. Boom. Reason number two. Boom. Okay, so they're doing a little bit of pre-selling here and making good use of this launch notification, this launch posting, as yet another marketing platform to get their message about their launch out, rather than just using it as a place to funnel traffic to their main JV page. Now, anybody can post a launch to Muncheye, and all it really takes is hitting the submit button, and then you get into a WordPress WYSIWYG editor that allows you to submit your own launch. And you put things like your date, the commission, the price, the name of the product, that sort of thing, and it'll generate a post just like the one we were just looking at for you. Now, the other thing you can do, you'll notice there's a little rotating header up here, and you'll notice some of these are highlighted in yellow. There's so many launches out there. It's easy for yours to get lost in the noise, and especially if you're just starting out and you're not a big name. So what these guys do is they allow you to advertise, and you can pay to have what's called a featured launch listing, which gets you that header at the top on the front page, on the home page, and gets your listing highlighted in yellow. And this is worth it. With absolute certainty, you will get lots of clicks to your JV page, lots of interest and affiliates signing up if you advertise on Muncheye. You can't go wrong with it. There are a lot of other places where you can post and pay to advertise your upcoming launch that I would not recommend, but I can wholeheartedly say this is a good place to spend $50 or even a few $100, and basically you would go through this process of selecting certain dates on the calendar. And this is an important part of planning too. Let's say that your launch is on the 28th of February. Well, then you would want to get, see, they have this deal going on, which I think is always there. I've seen it for years. Buy 5, get 2 free. So you're basically getting 7 days if you just spend $250. You want to plan out a good ways. You want to start letting people know roughly 30 days out. Okay? And then the following week. And then the week before the actual launch, right? And then maybe the day right before the launch. Okay, you've got to get a little bit creative. If you have the ad spend available, by all means, fill lots of days prior to your launch. Okay? But don't just put them on the days directly before your launch. try to spread them out a little bit and get at least a couple way out, because you're appealing to different types of affiliates. There are affiliates who are really squared away, and right here on the 30th of January, they will already have decided what they are promoting for most of February. So you want those dates pretty early on before your launch starts. Okay? And then there's also the affiliates who are kind of squared away, and they plan okay, and you want that to be a week or two out. And then there's the affiliates who are super lazy, and they won't know what they're promoting until the night before or sometimes the day of. Okay? And that's when you want one very, very close to your launch date, or even on your launch date. So that's how Muncheye works. The next thing was JV Notify Pro. Now this is kind of similar. It's the same basic concept. However, their style is very different. This is a little bit more like a magazine or a periodical. Their layout. And you can tell they really prioritize the big names who paid money, which is a big deal. And this really helps you get your bang for your buck from your advertising. You don't see anything even remotely similar to Muncheye. Let's just have another look at Muncheye just so we can contrast it appropriately. You don't see a long list of just, text, names and product names that go on forever and ever and ever on JV Notify Pro until you get to the very bottom. And then you've got a bunch of names just in a list here. Okay? And some of them have little, VIP new next to it because they're maybe a monthly member. Okay? But the big ones are up here. And they're placed strategically the same way that an online magazine, an e-magazine, would strategically place the articles that they want to get seen. Okay? And it's again, the same basic concept, but a different style. Okay? And the way that JV Notify Pro works is you become a member, and for as long as you remain a paying monthly member, you earn points, and you expend those points on featured listings like that. Okay? In addition, JV Notify Pro really puts huge emphasis on their email blast. Muncheye, I think, still has an email blast, as well. However, Muncheye doesn't put nearly as much emphasis on it. My assumption is that it's not as big of a list or not as well read. In the case of JV Notify Pro, people are actually reading those emails when they get the JV Notify Pro email newsletter about upcoming launches. Okay, so that's another big asset, and you get featured in that if you choose to pay for a featured listing. And once again, it's the same basic thing. When your listing is featured, somebody clicks on it, that will bring them to your JV page. Now, this is a little bit different. This is not a listing on JV Notify Pro, although there are listings on JV Notify Pro. But this, what they actually do for the featured listings when you click to them, is they have an iframe where they have the JV Notify Pro branding up here, and then they just have your JV page underneath it, within their page, within their iframe. That's pretty neat. And there's still a link up here to discuss this launch in the JV forum. And if you click over there, that's where a listing is inside of the forum portion of JV Notify Pro, and you can get some engagement there if you want to, and you can have a lot of the more typical information in here. So that pretty much sums it up. Muncheye, JV Notify Pro, both definitely two places where you definitely want your product launch listed, and you probably want to fork over a little bit of cash as well to make sure you get the maximum benefit of posting here. Now, this is sort of mass marketing to people who are already looking for launches, and you want them to see yours and come to your JV page, but there's another side of affiliate recruiting, and that is you proactively reaching out to them individually, one-on-one, and that's what we'll cover in the next lesson.